So I come to you with a live video about the joyful mysteries, and I've got a wonky eye that just started tonight. I don't know what's going on, but oh well. So I'm just going to start this live with reading one of my favorite quotes by Rilke, and he was a German poet. And he says, have patience with everything unresolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves as if they were locked rooms or books written in a very foreign language. Don't search for the answers, which could not be given to you now because you would not be able to live them. Live the questions now, perhaps then someday far in the future, you will gradually, without even noticing it, live your way into the answer. And that's one of my favorite quotes about this stepping into the unknown. And the joyous mysteries really are about stepping into the unknown and claiming what's really going to bring us joy in our life. And I remember after I had my kids and I'd been living very isolated in Sicily, and I finally got to go off on a retreat. And when I was moving, my question it was at the time I was giving up the actual act of birthing any more babies and breastfeeding any more babies, and what was I going to do with that third breast, which is, of course, the heart and the heart seeds. So that was a question that moved through me at the time. And so often when we try to decide things in our lives, we've privileged cognition and the mind and thinking about things and planning and organizing. And I'm coming to you from my gifts of being a dancer, dance movement therapist, improviser, authentic movement facilitator, whatever. Big in the movement and in the dance world. So I thought that I would just do a little bit of a movement play with the heart seeds. And yes, we know we have this physical heart, and it's right here through the chest. And we also have the back heart, and there'd be some people who talk about the high heart, and you might have different ways of moving or not with it. And hey, somebody's joined me to say hi. Hello, Brenda. Anyway, so what I thought I would offer you was, what are your heart seeds? And sometimes you can just begin by putting hands on the heart. And we know that every conception does not lead to an actual full-fledged baby, right? But boy, does it take something to really receive that heart seed and then really let it nourish and grow and trust. And so when we come into this space and move it, what I think is really nice is just playing with that little opening and closing with the arms, and then just moving the spine a little bit right here in the thoracic spine. This is the mid spine where the heart is, and we know how many people have this rolled over and squishedness because we really do try to protect our vulnerable body. It's very, as soon as we came from all fours to upright, we have this very vulnerable body, but it's also what gives us joy and really helps us enliven and move love. So if you just, you can begin with a very small movement here. Always feels very connected to me to our wingspan in the back, which actually goes all the way down to the tailbone. our wings actually come up that far, and into our arms and our hands, because this is what we use so much to give into the world. So if you begin to play with just little movements of this sort of opening and closing, and as you can see, I'm going a little bit diagonally as well. So you can, start with that just simple open and close, and it's like planting that seed perhaps, or feeling, what is that seed in my heart right now? Sometimes it's nice to just bring the hands over. We're still protecting, and especially, any person who's been a physical mom knows that we spend time really protecting that belly. We'll put our hands over that abdomen. So how do we start to bring more life to that seed, or more nourishment? And you can take your time with this little movement exploration, and you can actually ask that question that's currently in your heart. Which seed am I really nourishing and planting and wanting to grow and bring more? What's my joy? What's my love into this world? And you can just start with this small little, gesture or undulation or rhythm, or however you want to describe it, and see where it goes for you. I'm just sitting down and doing this right now so I can be closer to the camera, because it's late for me, so I'll be going to bed after this, and it is the 12th for me, but in the States it's the morning, isn't it? So how can you use this little movement exploration to grow your joy, to grow your little seed? What helps nourish that seed? And for me, I always get my best insights and ideas through movement process. In fact, not too long ago, I was doing a supervision process with some students, and I felt like this burst in my heart and went, oh, I need to be doing more of this. So maybe you have little tingles or little sensations that happen in your body that help you grow that, or know where to go. But also, we could just do this little movement around, how do I live in the questions? How can I be with those questions? And for me, I haven't gone really far into space here. I'm just doing this as a really close into the body. I'm still protecting that seed. It's not quite ready to really come out into the world, but you can play with gestures like that. How far does the seed want to begin to come out, or do I need to hold it close still? Because some of those seeds aren't quite formed yet, and it's not quite ready to come out. And that's why gestation can be 9 months, years, it can be longer. We know, those of you who write books, it can be much longer. So, as you play in this movement experiential, what are those seeds? And there might be multiple seeds. And so I'm just starting to feel that juiciness percolate in my body. So you might feel some inspiration of taking this into a larger dance if you'd like. I mean, I can start to include the rest of my body and really create a full body dance. And it still has that opening and closing quality. And I'm just going to start to wind this down and leave this as a pretty short little experience. Come closer to the camera to say, what is your heart sees? And it's always such a nice, loving gesture to yourself to really bring your hands to your heart, or even that little self-hug. But just that touch of reminding you where your heart is, where your joy is, what you love, what do you really love, what kind of love do you want to bring into this world, or how do you want to express that love? So thank you for joining me again in a video live in movement of the joyous mysteries. Thank you.